Hello, myself Dr. Sudha from Government Science College, Autonomous, Bangalore. In this session, let us study the standard application Brachistochrone problem in calculus of variation. The learning objective is Brachistochrone problem, curve of quickest descent, the prerequisites, basic integration, concept of principle of work and energy, Euler's equation, particular forms of Euler's equation. The history of Brachistochrone problem. Brachistochrone is a Greek word meaning shortest time. Brachistos, shortest, chronos, time. In 1630, Galileo Galilei formulated the Brachistochrone problem. The Brachistochrone problem is stated as follows. Given 2 points on a plane at different heights, what is the shape of the wire down which a bead will slide without friction under the influence of gravity so as to pass from the upper point to the lower point in the shortest amount of time? The mathematical formulation of the problem of finding the curve of least descent time, the Brachistochrone, was proposed as a challenge to all mathematicians by Swiss mathematician Johann Bernoulli in 1696. In 1697, the problem was solved by Johann Bernoulli, Jacob Bernoulli, Sir Isaac Newton, Leibniz, L'Hopital, and many others. The solution curve being a cycloid, Jacob's solution led to the theory of calculus of variation. Jacob Bernoulli published his solution and proposed a more general problem known as isoperimetric problem, which we are going to study in the next session. Now let us see observe the bead through which curve does it move faster. One can see that the bead through this red curve moves faster than the other two curves. Now let us state the Brachistochrone problem. Find the path in which a particle in the absence of friction will slide from one point to another in the shortest time under the action of gravity, or show that the path of a particle moving in a vertical plane under the action of gravity in least time is a cycloid. So let us prove this. Let the particle start from the point O initially at rest and slide along the curve OA. Let P of x, y be the position of the particle at any time t, and the arc length OP is equal to S. Given the particle moves under gravity only, that is without friction, therefore, from the principle of work and energy, the work done in moving the particle from O to P is equal to the difference between the kinetic energy at P and kinetic energy at O. So we have gain in kinetic energy moving from O to P is equal to loss in potential energy. So what is gain in kinetic energy? That is kinetic energy at P minus kinetic energy at O equal to the potential energy at the point P. So kinetic energy at P will be half into m into v square, that is ds by dt whole square, minus 0, that is kinetic energy at the initial point O is 0, is equal to potential energy at P, that is mass m into g, the gravity into the height, that is y. So mgy. So on either side we can cancel out m and we get ds by dt whole square is equal to 2gy. But ds by dt will be equal to square root of 2gy. From here we get ds is equal to root of 2gy into dt. And this implies, because ds is root of 1 plus y dash square into dx, and that will be equal to root of 2gy into dt. Now, if we solve for dt, that is finding the expression for dt, dt will be equal to 1 by root of 2g into root of 1 plus y dash square by root y into dx. To find the time taken t by the particle to move from point O to point A, we need to integrate. So t is equal to integral O to A dt, and that will be equal to 0 to x1. 0 is the x coordinate at the origin and x1 is the x coordinate at the point A, and we are substituting for dt, that is 1 by root 2g into root of 1 plus y dash square by root y into dx. For time to be minimum, that is for t to be minimum, it must satisfy the Euler's equation. That is dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash equal to 0. Here f is root of 1 plus y dash square divided by root y. Here f is independent of x. Since f is independent of x, the Euler's equation takes the form f minus y dash into dou f by dou y dash is equal to k, which is a constant. So if we substitute for f and dou f by dou y dash, we get root of 1 plus y dash square by root y, that is f, minus y dash into derivative of f with respect to y dash. So keeping 1 by root y, which is independent of y dash, into 1 over 2 root of 1 plus y dash square into 2y dash is equal to k. Simplify here, that is cancel out 2 and take the LCM. We are going to get 1 by root y into root of 1 plus y dash square is equal to k. Squaring both sides. We square both sides because we need to solve for y dash. So when we square both sides, we get 1 over y into 1 plus y dash square equal to k square. So if we take the reciprocal, we get y into 1 plus y dash square is equal to 1 by k square. Let us put this 1 by k square is equal to a. So we get y into 1 plus y dash square is equal to a. So bring this y to the right hand side, that is cross multiply. We get 1 plus y dash square is equal to a by y. So solving for y dash now, we get y dash is equal to root of a minus y divided by root y. But y dash is dy by dx. So we get dy by dx is equal to root of a minus y divided by root y. Separating the variables, we get dx is equal to root y divided by root of a minus y into dy. So integrating, we get integral dx plus c is equal to integral root y divided by root of a minus y dy. Here we can integrate using the substitution method. That is, we put y is equal to a sine square theta by 2. Since y is equal to a sine square theta by 2, dy will be equal to a into sine theta by 2 into cos theta by 2 into d theta. So on integration on the left hand side, integral dx gives x. So x plus c is equal to, on substitution we get a into integral 1 minus cos theta by 2 into d theta. Now let us integrate this right hand side. So you can remove 1 by 2 outside. So we get a by 2. Integral of 1 is theta and integral of cos theta is sine theta. So we get x plus c is equal to a by 2 into theta minus sine theta. So this is the expression for x. Now let us find the constant of integration c. So to find c, we know that O, that is the origin 0, 0 is a point on the curve. So putting x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, we get theta is equal to 0, which implies c is equal to 0. Since c is equal to 0, we get x is equal to a by 2 into theta minus sine theta. And we have in the substitution, that is y is equal to a sine square theta by 2. Now we can substitute for sine square theta by 2 as 1 minus cos theta by 2. Therefore x is equal to a by 2 into theta minus sine theta, and y is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta by 2. Now let us substitute a by 2 is equal to b. We get x is equal to b into theta minus sine theta and y is equal to b into 1 minus cos theta. And these two equations are the parametric equations and they represent the curve known as cycloid. And what is this curve cycloid? The curve cycloid is a very special curve indeed, as we can see that it is the curve traced out by a wheel rolling upside down along the x-axis. Suppose this is the wheel, and if we slide this wheel upside down the x-axis, that is fix one point, and if you slide this along the x-axis, that point will trace out this curve, and this curve is known as cycloid. And the equation to the cycloid is given by x is equal to a into theta minus sine theta and y is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta. Hope everybody could follow the Brachistochrone problem. In the next session, let us see or study the isoperimetric problems.